Good evening and welcome to my channel, Coffee Conversations Over Coffee. I'm making a video after a very long time. Today's topic is again going to be pertaining to recruitment, and this is for the recruiters. I am going to always share the experiences I go through. Maybe you all could resonate with the same experiences. So, today we are going to talk about the types of candidates. So, many a times the way we pick candidates is on the skill level, we don't know them personally. So, either we get the CV from Naukri, LinkedIn, wherever you get the CV. So basically, they are not applying to you. You are reaching out to them to check their interest in the requirement. So when you do that, you have to maintain your respect. What does that mean? It means that there could be active people actively looking for a job, but they could be passive people that they've not thought of looking out for a job, but then they don't mind trying for a job. Okay. So the first red flag here is that so you have one certain candidate who is looking out for a change. What are the things that you need to check with somebody who is actively looking for a change? What you need to check out is he applying to other companies, and is he actively searching for a job? Is he actively giving interviews? Uh, Also, as I said in my last video, that when you're looking at the CV, you need to know the right kind of questions to ask him. So when he's actively looking for a job, that means he's not presently happy with something in his job and is looking for a change. So that's when you see the pattern of his changing companies, the number of companies he has changed, and you need to ask him the right questions. That why does he want to leave the current company? If he says most of the jobs are like, most of the candidates would give you an answer like, I'm looking for a better prospect. Now every person is looking for a new job, is definitely looking for a change, but the reason could be a variety of things, right? You need to dig a little deeper, and looking at the CV, if you find he's done a lot of jumping, and mind it guys, if you see that he is in the present company from where you're trying to get him, he has been there only for 5 to 6 months, don't touch him, because he has not done any kind of work there which can be converted into productivity. I'm sure if you are a recruiter, you know what that means. It means that he may have worked 5 years with the earlier company, but in the present company, he's been only for 4 to 5 months. What kind of work do you think he has done in this company? Because we know that the projects take a little longer time. It doesn't take 5 or 6 months to complete. And I've had cases where people have changed companies after 4 and 5 months. So now I do not look at those CVs at all, because those CVs are not happy in a company in the 4 5 months that they've stayed. And 4 5 months is not enough to know a company or to get settled in a company, right? First red flag is that if he's 6 months in a job, don't touch him. And if you do, there has to be a right reason for doing it. Second is that if a candidate is not responding to you, so I have had these experiences where the candidate does not want to communicate. He feels he's a king. किस चीज का king भाई? I think the candidates need to understand the recruiter gets a small amount of money for the big jobs that they land. And we are only trying to get the company and the candidate together, and we make a small commission, right? So you need to respect us, guys. When we are reaching out to you, there are many candidates who will not pick up your phone. They will say they're in meetings the whole day, they're in meetings. Then you have to follow up with them for the CVs, and the CVs don't come even after 24 hours. And then you feel that you're badgering or you're pushing the candidate, and he'll even give you that kind of a attitude that, boss, I'm in a meeting, how do you expect me to call up and talk to you? Boss, there has to be an intent in applying to a company. That intent is known when you see the attitude of the candidate. If the candidate is not wanting or not responding to you, believe me, he may not even go there for the interview. These are the red flags, and I have started crossing these kind of guys. I stop talking to them, and they get back to me after a month or two to check if there is a requirement. I don't even reply to that. Respect flows both ways, right? It cannot be just we trying to reach out to them. So make sure when you're talking to the candidate, if he's genuinely interested in the company, is he genuinely interested in the job profile, what are his intentions of joining another company, does he already have. So there's a third thing that I'm coming to, is that they already have an offer in hand and they are still job shopping, and we are pressured by the companies to get immediate joiners, and because of that we still go behind these people to check if they are available for the current job, and he is going to still shop. So even after the company you're putting his CV for selects him for an interview, there's no guarantee that that guy is going to stick around and join the company. Okay, so we as recruiters need to send one good CV, but that has to be a genuine CV. And I actually had a very good experience with one of the candidates, and I actually felt good interacting with this candidate. That candidate picked up my call every time I called, messaged me back whenever I wanted her to message me, made time for my discussion with her, asked questions, gave clarity, and I must have spoken to her 4 5 times, and I felt that I had to push her CVs. And recruiters, also one shout out to you is that if you feel genuinely if the candidate is good, push that CV. Push that CV for you with your manager. Every company wants 100% match to the JD, and that's not possible. Okay, so you have to fight for your CV. You have to push the CV if you feel that the CV is worth pushing. And when do you know that? Is when you know, when you interact with the candidate, how interested and invested he is. So while we look at the normal things like the education, the experience, the skills that he has worked, the very important part is his attitude towards applying for this job. That's only the time you'll be able to close the position. And I would also say that there's no need for you to follow up with the candidate once he's joined. Is how the atmosphere in the company is he being treated well? Does he have a cabin, or all these things? Not necessary, because that is one place where you're placing a doubt in the candidate that you are following up because there's something wrong with the company. I mean, so you don't need to do that. You've done your work. You held him for 3 months or 2 months till he joined the company. And candidates do their own research also. They have brains. We don't need to do all the work for them. Okay, there are certain things they need to do. So this is my one advice to a small video I wanted to make, because every day I experience something new. And by the way, I contact candidates even on Insta. So I know that modeling world and the film world and many other agencies or travel business happens through Insta. So why not recruitment? So I did try to reach out someone on recruitment, and I found two candidates like that, and they spoke to me. I didn't have their numbers because I don't work on Naukri. I avoid using Naukri. It's a waste of time. I only work on LinkedIn, and you know that we don't have numbers there. So I tried to reach out to them through Insta, and I was successful doing that with at least two candidates. So this is one more way of reaching out. Once a recruiter, always a recruiter, right? You have to find people. So that's all for today. Thank you for giving me your time. Bye.